Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Midday Market Update. My name is Glenn Tompkins. Anyway, I'm a senior instructor here at VectorVest. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here. The first trading day of the week. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the chat, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. Yes, we do have Joey in the background. He is producing today. He's the guy that's making me look good. He doesn't have a lot of job to do there. I look great, and Joey doesn't have to do much. He just sits back there and smokes a cigar and plays with his dog. That's what he does. So let's go see. I see VV Nation's coming across. How many people are here? The alert probably hasn't hit yet. This week, I'm really striving to get us to at least 300 people per live stream, folks. There's a lot of things going on in the market. A lot of things people need to know about. A lot of people are getting discouraged in the market, and they need to have some great information to help them make the right decisions. I like that. Siberia says, Glenn, your weight loss is amazing. Let me tell you something. It's amazing when I take my meds the way that I'm supposed to and eat the way I'm supposed to. I just told my wife this morning that I need to get more belts. My belts don't fit. So that's a good thing. And then making money in the market, put all that together. Whoo! It's a good thing. Joey, did Glenn give singing lessons, or did you give Glenn? Joey didn't give me any singing lessons. What video did you just put up there, Joey?
Today's stream.
Oh, today's stream. Oh, yes. Share the stream. That's right. I'm trying to get to 300 people every live stream. I think that's a really good starting point to get more people involved in the stock market. Joey put the link up there already. Share the link, folks. Share the link. Everybody take a moment right now to click on the live stream link and share it. Please do. I think that the information that we give is so important to a lot of people, and they need to get it. So stay away or reduce carbs, especially complex carbs and sugars. Yes, I'm doing all of that stuff. Nobody knows, but I've got my little thing on my arm to check my blood sugars. Let me tell you something. That helps. That helps a lot. It helps a lot in my ability to eat and do the things at the right time, because it alerts me. It alerts me. So take herbs, not meds. Sifu, right now, I'm on the meds. We'll see where that goes from here. Yokai says, share, do we have a price target for SMCI, ACL? Yokai, you know what I want you to do when we give an opportunity to put stocks in? Joey, write those 3 stocks down for me. Write those 3 stocks down for me. I definitely want to pay attention to those 3s. Those are very good stocks to keep your eyes on. And I will do the best that I can to give you a price target. I really don't do price targets, but I pay attention to what's going on. I pay attention to what's going on to help you to get some semblance of some kind of price target. So I will try. I will definitely try. And SMCI Pneumatic is a beast. It is the best stock in our database, and it has been for the past month or so. And at some point in time, everybody's going to say, well, I don't know if I should still be in it or not. Let me tell you something. If the stock is doing exactly what you wanted to do, which is go up in price, don't fear it. Just know when to have some stops put into place to take profits. It is a beast. I do take metformin. I take a lot of metformin, actually. So that helps as well. All right. With all of that being said, I know you didn't come here to hear about what's going on in my health world. So let's talk about what's going on in the market. Looking at the market today, a lot of green in the market. A lot of people are bullish in the market. I think they're bullish in the market for a couple of reasons. Well, for one main reason, I think the main reason why people are really bullish in the market is because of the fear of missing out. Stocks are going up so much that people are jumping on board, driving stock prices higher. Do you agree with that? Type of 1 in the room. If you disagree with that, type of 2. I think that the main reason, and there's a second reason, The second reason is AI. AI is moving the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is the biggest mover in the market and has been for the last couple of weeks. All right, so this the tech stocks that are moving, and I think it's a lot of people who are fear of missing out. Philip says no. And Philip, I am not judging anybody. It was a great question. It was a great question, and I want to take everybody's answers. I love engaging you guys in these live streams because I want to know what you think. So not as many people answered the question as I would like with 151 people in the room. Folks, get involved. Get involved in the conversation. Let your voice be heard. You're a part of this community, and let your voice be heard. Well, it won't be heard, but I can see it. AHR is another beast. John is right. Momentum trading is hedge fund secret sauce. So the interesting thing about hedge funds, you know that they can only move X amount of money at a time because they move and control so much money. So it's a gamble on their part right now from the hedge fund perspective of jumping on board with these riskier stocks. If the market turns around, it's going to take them a lot longer to get out of these riskier stocks than it will for us. So they're taking a gamble right now. And as I look at the market, we're going to look at all of our major market indicators, but a lot of green. We know that next week, in the next couple of weeks, the Fed is going to be making a decision on interest rates. And I think that everybody's baking in that he is going to raise it. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I've got a story on that. And all of the major indices are up today with the NASDAQ leading the way, but the market again on another day that's moving up is not going up gangbusters. So that still tells me that there's a lot of people actually probably coming late to the party, investing in the market, that fear of missing out. It is what it is. But those of us who are still currently in the market, we are making money on all of those people coming in late to the party, driving our stock prices higher. So I still want to put out there, I want you guys to be aware of what's going on and be cautiously aware of what's going on, because the last thing you want to do is give back everything that you've made. And I know that we've been in that boat. We've all been in that boat at one point or another in our investing journey. So I don't want you to be afraid to take some off the table. Even if you take half off of the table on a stock that you're up 20, 30%, if you're up that much on any stock, don't be afraid to take 20 or 30, to take half off the table. Now, a lot of you will say, well, man, then I'm leaving a lot of money on the table. Are you really? As long as you can capture a profit, you're not leaving any money on the table, because the name of the game is to make money and live to fight another day, than to live and give it all back and make silly decisions going forward. So look at that. Strawberry Cookie says, I agree, FOMO. But hey, some retail has been getting more information on AI, and some are reading and studying their stocks. I'm telling you, AI is not a fad right now. It is the hottest thing out there. It's called the hottest thing out there, and stocks are rocking and rolling. Bulls are stocks in AI, 57% from 6.2. Brenda, thank you for commenting. I'm seeing now, as I mentioned, make your voices be heard. A lot of new people are chiming in. That's great. All right, so we got 150 people. Let's get 150 people more. Let's get 150 people more. As we continue to talk, let's get into the VectorVest software and let's go see what's going on there. Here's a 3-month view of the VectorVest composite. Where are we at today? Trading at session highs. Actually, today, we made a new 3-month high. Nice open candle, no wick at the top. Still trading at session highs. Move out of the way, internet. AI is creeping, says Strawberry. Nothing wrong with that. Kevin, if the Fed had it baked while me and the rest are paying higher I don't know where you going, Lou. Lou, sometimes you go off a tangent that I don't even know. John says, I think the market is going to run. The past 14 positions I bought are all making money, and that never happens. Again, just don't get caught up in the euphoria. Don't get caught up in the greed euphoria. All right? Don't be afraid to take some off the table. All right. Oh my gosh, Elf hit another new high. Again, the stocks that are running are running. All right, let's get into what news is moving the market. All right, let's get into what's news is moving the market. The Fed opened to another rate hike after expected increase this month. All right, so I think it's built in that We're going to get another rate hike this week, in the next couple of weeks. But look at inflation. Inflation is definitely fallen, but it's not at the level of the 2% that the Fed wants. So the economy though is still good, and that's going against what the Fed wants. Or is the Fed trying to raise the interest rates and have a soft landing while the economy is still running? But if the economy keeps running, as inflation falls, then we're going to get into a point where inflation starts to rise again prior to the 2%. And then what? Then does the Fed start cutting? Or no, not yet. All right, next story. Americans are feeling better about the economy, but economists say not so fast. Stocks are higher, with some strategists even suggesting a record-setting year for the S&P. Inflation has fallen from north of 9 to 3%. I don't think that number is correct. I don't know what number they're looking at to get 3%. I don't think we're at 3%, according to one metric, blah, blah, blah. U.S. consumer sentiment rises the fastest pace since 2005. That gives us a lot of bullishness in the market, but we remain steadfast in the view that the economy is going to take a turn for the worse within the coming months. But it seems that consumers are becoming more sanguine, and buying into the soft landing or no landing narratives, at least for now. So what things could move the market lower? The biggest things is earnings. We got a big earnings week kicking off this week. We're going to talk a little bit about that. If companies start missing earnings, that's going to affect the market adversely. And I think that right now, with this hot as the market is looking or going, the market's just looking for something small as a way of giving some bearish news so that the market can take a reprieve, which is healthy for the market after it's been moving up as much as it has. So do I think that the market has some downside? I think that regional banks still play a role into this. The other shoe still has to fall on that. Earnings, what's going to happen with earnings? I think in the last few quarters, the last quarter, the banks raised dividends to get more people to buy. That was a smart move on their part prior to their earnings coming out to get more people involved in their stocks. Is the Jockey Club continue? Alberto, we do the Jockey Club every day from 9 till 10:30, which is our day trading room. Amir says, what do you think is going to happen this week? I think that coming into this week, the market still is going to have some upside, a lot of momentum in the market. I still think that's going to happen. But I also think, Amir, it all depends on what earnings looks like this week, especially with some of the big banks. All right, some more economic news. China's economy barely grows as recovery fades. China's at a point right now where they're probably going to have to start doing some stimulus to get their economy back up and going again. It's going to be very interesting. The problem is with that, it's going to take a little time for that to happen. But China's economy is hurting us globally because they are the biggest consumer of goods and services around the globe. So I think even in spite of that, our economy is still holding steadfast. So this is going to be very interesting about what goes on with China. All right, so these are some of the economic stories. Here's another good economic story. Pay raises are finally beating inflation after 2 years of falling behind. Well, that makes sense because inflation is falling. So where is the bar when it comes down to that? As inflation has fallen from 9% down to about 4%, 5%, it does look like pay raises are finally beating inflation, because a lot of people are saying, well, the raises are out there, and the Fed has said we've raised raises the highest point, the highest or the fastest than we have in quite some years. A lot of people are saying, but it wasn't beating inflation because inflation was so high. So as inflation is starting to fall, now the pay raises are beating, and that's a good thing for people. But it also puts more money in their pockets, which helps to spur the economy more. So just keeping all of these things in mind on what the economy looks like and where the economy is heading and where we're going in regards to the stock market is very important. You put more money into people's hands, they're going to spend it. As they spend it, then, people don't have to lower prices to get people to buy things. The demand is going to be there, and the goods are still going to be at inflated prices. There's going to be no reason for them to drop prices as long as people are willing to pay. Oh, that was you. Okay. Let's go to another. Here's an AI story. Inflection AI raises $1.3 billion. I want you to see this is another company, another AI company. A lot of people are trying to get a piece of the AI pie. I want you to see some of the companies that are backing up this company. Inflection AI has raised $1.3 billion in a new round of funding led by Microsoft, Reid Hoffman, Bill Gates, Eric Schmidt, and a new investor, NVIDIA. Two big names in the AI space are backing this company by helping it to raise $1.3 billion. Now, it's not a company I think that we can look at just quite yet. I'm going to check a look at it. I think this is a brand new company, as I can see. A new round of funding. Well, we're going to take a look. Inflection. Let's do this. Let's go into the software real quick. I got to go to my viewers. I didn't check to see if we can find this company. Inflection. And I'm interested in it. I don't know if it's brand Inflection. We don't have it. All right, we don't have it. So I'm thinking that this is a new startup based on the story. But I see two big names. Here's my mouse. I see two big names backing it. And that, just like Microsoft backed ChatGPT, look at what it did. So very interesting. Two big names in the space, Microsoft and NVIDIA. Is the economy like that of the 70s or of the 40s? Well, in the 70s, I was only about 10 years old. In the 40s, I was like negative 30 years old. So I don't know. I can't answer that question. I can't answer that question. That's just me giving an honest answer. Can it be growth? You want me to look at a weed stock? Just came to my attention today. Haven't traded weed stocks in a couple of years. Geez, it's tempting. Maybe we'll look at it. Maybe we'll look at it. All right, another AI. AI is a $1 trillion investment opportunity, but will be the biggest bubble of all time. This is the bearish side of the AI space. Now, you figure at some point in time, the bears were going to come out about AI. I think it's just such a hot topic that people, and I don't want to say that it's like clickbait to be recognized. This is by a person. This is their opinion. Speaking with a UBS analyst on a call next week, Stability in AI CEO Imad Mostak said of AI, I think it will be the biggest bubble of all time. Now, does anybody agree with that? Type a yes if you agree with that. Stop it, Drew. And type a 2 if you do not agree with that. Type a 1 if you agree with that it's going to be the biggest bubble of all time, or type a 2 if you do not agree with that. Very interesting, because just like anything that gets hot and heavy, at some point in time, there could be a bubble behind it. There could be a bubble behind it. Is it sustainable? In my mind, I think that there is a lot of big names behind the AI, a lot of research and development in this space. And I think that we're going down the path, whether you want to or not. It's going to be the next age of computing. And as someone just said in the room, watch out, internet. AI is the next best thing, biggest thing. So I think that now there's a scary side of it, and the scary side of it always takes me back to the Terminator. Does AI run the world at some point in time? I think if it ever happens, I don't think it's ever in any of our lifetimes. But that's a viable thought, that, we create the AI and that AI becomes smart enough that it doesn't need us anymore. So it's just an interesting thought. Stability AI is the company behind Stable Diffusion, one of the other more popular generative AI tools aside of OpenAI. Mostak said that the total amount of investment needed in AI was likely to be $1 trillion. I think that we will surpass that number of investment in AI because of as hot as it is. Metaverse started early, but may get boosted maybe in a couple of years. Now, I'm a big fan still of the metaverse. I don't think it's come into its time yet, but I think that's another way, another path that we will get into. And you put AI, you put the metaverse, you put crypto, all of those things in together, that's a whole new society that we're on the fringe upon. All right, just think about that. Now, I got some downsides to that as well. The downside to that is we're going to become an introverted society, whether it's AI, whether it's the metaverse, whether it's utilizing crypto on the metaverse. We're going to become more of an introverted society. Interesting. I was watching yesterday on TV the second Independence Day, and I don't know how many people have seen it. But, there's this big ball that they have to protect from the monster people, blah, 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 blah. And the ball referred to us as a primitive society. And they said that we were primitive because they had done away with having to be physical beings thousands of years ago. I caught my attention because at some point in time, way in the future, I'm thinking that we might be in that same scenario. We're going to be a lot more virtual. And I think that as human beings, we have an innate reality of being, social beings. While we look at all of these things that are going on, I think it makes us less social. So I'm just putting all that out there. That's just a little tangent that I went on. There is a bad side or a downside. I'm not going to call it bad. There is a downside to the path that we're going down altogether. All right. So with that being said, next story. Well, hold on. Inflection wasn't there. AI. We have it. There's an AI ETF. Does anybody remember what it is? I'm going to put that in my watch list. We have an AI ETF. Anybody know what it is? I'm going to put that in my list. I try to remember as many stocks as I possibly can. But I can't always. Joey, do me a favor. Joey, right now, I need you to Google AI ETF. Is bots one? Global X robotics? No, I don't know if I want that one. I'm putting it in, but I'm looking for an actual. So Joey, see if you can Google AI ETF. AI ETF. AIEQ, is that it? Michael, I know that there is one. 6 best ETI. C3 AI, that's a company. That's not I don't think that that's an ETF. I think the AIEQ, scroll down. I think the AIEQ might be what I'm looking for. Oh, there we go. There it is, AIQ. Thank you, Joey. Bots is one of them, but I'm going to take AIQ as well. AIQ. All right, so since that story about AI is there, I wanted to find an AI ETF to put in there. That way we didn't have to go look at just one. All right, next story. Regional banks battle for deposits with tougher U.S. rules looming. So there was a rule that came out that the big banks have to have more cash on hand. I think it's going to make it tough when these regionals. Remember, your Uncle Glenn has been saying that the regional banks, the other shoe has to fall. I wasn't just whistling Dixie when I said that. I still think that the other shoe has to fall. And if the big banks are going to be tasked with having more money on hand, the regionals are going to have to be tasked with that as well. Now, the problem is with the shoe not falling, the regional banks still haven't taken those short-term things off of their table. All right. And like what happened with SIVB and the other bank in New York, I'm telling you, just keep your eyes on the regionals. I'm probably going to do a story of probably maybe some regional banks to keep your eyes on to play for the downside. All right. So keep your eyes on that. Tesla. How many people like the look of the Cybertruck, Type 1? If you don't like the look of the Cybertruck, Type 2. I am not a fan of the look of the Cybertruck. Now, I'm a Tesla fan. I think Tesla's a great company. I think that they could have done a better job with the vehicle. I think that they could have done with the innovation that they have, they could have done a better job with the vehicle. But the first Cybertruck arrives, it's finally here. A lot of people have been looking at it. Do I think that that's going to help boost Tesla? Absolutely. It's new. It's finally here. It's going to move Tesla stock higher. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It looks like a transformer. It doesn't look like Bumblebee. Woo! All right. Looks like Stealth. Well, Stealth may not be a bad looking thing, Stephanie. Looks like a coffin. It does. I don't want to be caught up in that. All right. Excuse me. Let's go put Tesla in our list. All right. TSLA. We'll put Tesla in our list. Looking at it by VST, what's the number one stock? Of course, going to be Tesla, even though it's way overvalued, man. Fundamentally sound, and the company makes money. Look at its earnings growth rate at 28%. The other ones are ETFs. All right, let's go bring up the next story. Another Tesla story. Look at this. Ford. There, let me move this over. There's the other Tesla story. Tesla and talks to set up a factory in India. This is an interesting story because recently Joey and I were talking about how India was on the precipice to overtake China as far as the amount of people. And now it's there. India has more people than China. Can you fathom that? All right. India has more people than China. Now, their economy is not as good as China's, but they've got more people. This is interesting in that Tesla's talking to set up a factory in India. I'm going to go over this Ford story in a second. But I wanted to Google 5 biggest U.S. companies that offshore in India. Ford, Cisco, American Express, GE, Microsoft. A lot of big companies are going to India. India is becoming an emerging economy. So there was an ETF that I had for India that I want you to keep your eyes on. If more companies are going there, here's an ETF for you to track, NFTY. All right, this is for the India market. It's up a little bit today. It's got an RT above 1. I need you guys to pay attention to that. All right, Michael, I will give you guys an opportunity to look at your stocks, about 10 to 15 of your stocks. So hold off on that for me right now. Model Y is now the best-selling passenger vehicle in Australia. Steve Chaplin and I had a conversation about how much Tesla is going to invade or take over the car industry. And it is. I'm going to Google something real quick. What is the percentage of Tesla cars, on the road? About 2022. I need a 2023 story. Because I want to go off what Dan said. Wow. There it is. How many electric cars in the United States? 322,000. But what percentage of that is Tesla? Can anybody get me something on that? 2023. How many Teslas are on the road in 2023? I like that story. How come it doesn't tell me? 2.3 million. That's at the end of 2021. Produced in 2021. Man. Interesting. How much revenue is Tesla? I don't want that. Charging stations. I don't want that. I want to look into that. I want to know that. But Tesla is definitely, as I look at Dan's statement, Tesla is definitely growing in the amount of cars that are on the road as far as electric cars. And a lot of people are still against the electric cars. I got some trepidation in regards to that. My main trepidation is I think it was artificially generated by our government to get us more of a less carbon footprint. That's just me talking. I think it should have happened just naturally on its own, but I think we pushed it. And in pushing it, it is what it is. It is what it is. I look at companies like Volkswagen that says that they're going to be fully electric by 2030. And I think more and more companies are jumping on board. So do I like the EV space? I still do. The best companies that are out there are going to be the ones that are going to be able to supply the demand, and the demand is increasing. All right, let's go to the next story. It's the Ford story. Look at this. Ford shares are trading lower. The company on Monday announced price cuts for its F-150 Lightning truck. Remember, Tesla just did that, right? They were able to say, fine, we'll chew into our own margins to get more cars out there. Is Ford going down that path right now too, to sell more vehicles? Is Ford really trying to go up against Tesla as far as the EV space? I just don't know. I just don't know. What about Idaho's opposition to EVs? Siberia. I am of the mindset of anybody, any city that wants to go against the EV emergence, I think is really going to hold himself back. OAIE is the ETF. OAIE. OAIE. For what? Let's go see. OAIE for What is that? I don't even think I have it. OAIE. Optimize AI. It's another AI. Okay, fine. I'll put that up there. I got that one up there. All right. So I'm going to put Ford up here. I just don't know if Ford has the wherewithal. And the reason why I say that, Ford's probably going to be at the bottom of the list. Overvalued, not fundamentally sound. I'm thinking that at this particular point in time, Ford is doing whatever they need to do to get themselves out of the doldrum. Do you agree with that? Yes or no? I think that this story tells me that Ford is willing to do whatever it needs to do to get out of the doldrum. Do you agree with that? Yes or no? You have negative. Ford has been around forever. Negative earnings growth rate. Fundamentally not sound. RT, I think, because of the EV space. Ford is losing money on their EVs. So does the F-150 Lightning become a loss leader in regards to their product offering? All right, to try to get more people to jump on board. Interesting. Or to buy more vehicles. So it now becomes more of a sales story than making money. All right, it becomes more of and there you go. Badger says, absolutely, they want to stay alive. Yes, I do. Who wouldn't? It says Jeremy. No, quality is job one. That's their commercial, Fireblazer. That's their commercial. Hydrogen EV hybrid is the future. Jake, I'm still working on a story of the alternative to lithium, and hydrogen is that story. All right, hydrogen is that story. Cookie, I put that up there already. I put that in the list, as you can see. OAIE, I got that in the list. All right, what else is in the news? What else is in the news? A drug company, Acumen Pharmaceutical, ABOS, skyrockets on promising phase 1 data in Alzheimer's disease. Who was the other company that recently put out a drug in Alzheimer's that I liked? Anybody remember that stock? Anybody remember that stock? And I'm all on anything helping with Alzheimer's. This drug was able to help to combat the early stages and slow down the cognitive breakdown. I forgot the stock. Oh, REGN. Was that it, Mark? Thank you. Was that it? All right. No, it was BIIB. Mitzi is right. I think it was Biogene. I think it was BIIB. All right, so I'm going to put both of these, ABOS, and BIIB. ABOS. I'm getting ready to see how many of you actually listen. See, I put all this information. You guys are supposed to regurgitate it back to me when I don't remember. But ABOS up 59%. Where's BIIB? Up a little bit today. Overvalued. Let's go look at both of those. Both of those are overvalued, which is not surprising when I'm looking at a pharmaceutical. That it just happens, and probably both have negative earnings. No, actually, Biogen has got positive earnings. ABOS has negative earnings. All the irony. Glenn can't remember an Alzheimer's drug. Wow. I got to laugh at that. I got to laugh at that. Oh, the irony. All right. Excuse me. Joey, did you just laugh?
I said yikes.
Yeah, that was kind of, yeah. So, all right. That was good, Daniel. That was good. I like that. All right. With that being said, let's go find the next story. ABOS, keep your eyes on it. Next stock, Chewy. Chewy's future looks bright. Analyst upgrades rating predicts 10% revenue growth through 2027. I know a lot of us have pets. We use Chewy, order a lot of stuff for our pets. Today, my little puppy is getting fixed. So, yikes. He's going to come home. I told him, I said, puppy, you're going to go away as a young man and come back as a eunuch. But it happens. You got to do it. Gotta do it. I think that's us being responsible adults for our puppy. All right, so that's happening today. I'm wondering what he's gonna be like when I go home. He's probably gonna be like, so I'll spend a little bit of extra time with the puppy. Yes, Mr. It might become Miss Miyagi. His name is Mr. Miyagi. He might become Miss Miyagi after it. So we'll see. Yes, Ford has great vehicles, so they need to join. I think they've already joined with the F-150 Lightning. That was their joining into that marketplace. But it's interesting how they want to drop the price. They just want the sales, but it's going to hurt them. They're already hurting financially. Do you really want to put yourself in that position by selling more vehicles? So we'll see. All right. Marty says, I spend a fortune with Chewy. I'm not going there, Jake. I'm not even highlighting that. All right, let's go put Chewy in the list. CHWY. Let's go see what it looks like. What does it look like? It looks like, how did that happen? What did you do, Joey? Chewy is towards the bottom of the list. Way overvalued. Excuse me. I look at it as a means of people easily getting their pet stuff without having to go out to the store, but way overvalued. And with the story, I'm looking at the earnings growth. I got an earnings growth of 29%. They're making money. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, but fundamentally not sound, but they're making money. All right. Don't put in your stocks yet. Your puppy is going to pee all over you when you get home. I hope not. And then pee all over my wife, not me. I don't need all that. Intuitive Surgical Inc. Don't sleep on. I had a story. That was going to bring up on Intuitive Surgical in the AI space. Actually, I'm going to put it in the list. I didn't get the story, but ISRG, I do like the stock. You know something? Intuitive Surgical has been in the AI space way before the AI space was cool. All right, Intuitive Surgical has been in the AI space way before the AI space was cool. Dr. DeLito loves this stock from a long time ago. It is overvalued. The company makes money with a relative safety above 1. And look at that, 9% earnings growth. Do they pay a dividend? The answer to that is no, they do not. But Intuitive Surgical is a great company. I don't like that it's way overvalued, but it is a company that makes money. I like this as a long-term play. I definitely like this as a long-term play. What are you guys talking? Udi, any confirmation that Palantir has found another company to help with their business? They help in healthcare business. I don't know. Hey, I posted on my Facebook that I got quoted in the U.S. News and World Report on a Palantir story that I gave them, talking about Palantir, which was kind of cool for me. All right, so I might put it on the YouTube channel. I'll put the story out there if you want to take a look at it. Just a couple of quotes from me in regards to Palantir, which was kind of cool. So Joey, can I say that I've now been published? Let's go see. Post a link. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on. Copy. I can't copy it. It's going to come up somewhere. Hold on. Where did it come up? There it is. There's the link. It's coming up. Should you buy Palantir stock? And nobody cares about what all these other people say. Where is it at? Path forward, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Getting a grip on Palantir stock means understanding what the company does. Palantir is a machine learning company that takes data and turns it into usable data. Usable information. No matter the industry it is looking at, says Glenn Tompkins, senior instructor at VectorVest and Cornelius. The company's keystone, blah, 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 blah. They said something else. There it is. Now Palantir has been able to expand its cloud-based information services to streamline a lot of different processes, Tompkins notes. That includes things like medicine to help with vaccines, fraud investigations, and military defense, among other applications. That's all the words they took from me. So, I want to see you on Fox Business now. Wow. Glenn, you are now an expert writer. Did you thank Joey for writing that article for you? No. Don't even, I'm not even putting that out there. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put this in the chat in case you want to read it. How about that? I want to put that. Mark says you sound smart. Oops. Hold on. There's the link. There's the link. All right. So I just, listen, I don't want to tout my, toot my horn, but that's kind of big. That's kind of big for a guy like me. All right. That's kind of, thank you, lifestyle coach. That's kind of big for a guy like me. So I wanted to share it with the VectorVest community. I wanted to share it with it. Glenn, when might we see you at the red carpet event? Whatever. Thank the Lord above for Joey. I'm thankful for Joey. Believe you me, I'm extremely thankful for Joey and all of the stuff that he does for me, because if not, I'd be a wreck. I would so be a wreck. Glenn is now a noted stock commentator. I don't know. All right, next story. What is this one? Oh, this is an interesting story. America's foreign vacations. Remember, I keep asking the question, with inflation being the way that it is, why are the travel stocks doing well? You got the airlines doing well, the Airbnbs, the hotels, the booking.coms. Interesting story. Prices are high, but Americans are opening up their wallets for international flights and hotels. It's the latest evidence of consumer resilience. And you know something? This is going to affect us down the road, because a lot of people are putting these vacations on their credit cards. They'll worry about paying it back later. Your Uncle Glenn is telling you there's going to be a credit card issue down the line when people are not paying back the money. All right. Glenn sounds smarter than the president. Ron, I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that. Glenn, if you don't toot your own horn, it will remain in a pathetic state of untootedness. Untootedness. I think booking.com has earnings tomorrow. It's because the cheapest time to go to Europe, because the dollar has been high. Jake says Glenn is my idol. I'm not your idol. Talking about earnings. Let's go look at what earnings are coming up. Here's the earnings for this week. Somebody said, what was he said booking.com? I don't know. I looked. I don't know if booking.com is this week. But I took a lot of these names that, especially a lot of banks are reporting this week, which is the start, usually that's the start of the earnings week. I did put a lot of those stocks into my earnings this week. We'll come look at that in a second. All right, so that was all my stories. Oh, no, I'm going to do one more story. And this is for the people. This is for the people who are new to the channel, new to investing. I'm going to go to www.VectorVest.com. Folks, if you go to our main website and go over to the blog right here and click on it, just click on it. Go to the blog. We always try to put up a stock to look at. The metal company gains 160% in the past 3 months. Can it keep going, or is this the peak? Let's click on that. Every day we try to give you a stock. Look at that. The metal, whoa. TMC. Hold on a second. TMC. That's TMC Metals. All right, man. I got all caught up. TMC comes to the bottom of the list. So let's read the story real quick. The metal company's climbed 160% in the last 3 months, and it's already up another 15% so day. That was on Friday. But after a period of sustained growth, the stock dipped hard this week, falling more than 30%, which is not abnormal. The stock had gone up so much. That it probably was a healthy pullback. The company engages in deep sea mining for mineral formations, which are key inputs for producing batteries. That's important. While the metal company has much success, they're starting to face the pressure from political oppositions that will hinder continued growth. Ooh. So, folks, I bring this to your attention because outside of what we do on YouTube, outside of what we do as far as our subscribers in the channel or in the software, you want to get some ideas about what's going on and how we as a company look at these stocks. This is a great place to go. All right, go to our main website, click on the blog, and then we can also show you other things on swing trading ideas, option ideas, hot stocks, and retirement. We've got something for everybody out there, even if you're not a subscriber to the VectorVest software. All right, Strawberry Cookie says, I have a few shares of Palantir. So do I. So do I. India is distancing from the dollar. I know, because they're part of the BRICS deal, right? India is part of it. What is it? Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Those are the BRICS countries. And they're trying to go after usurping the dollar as the mainstay currency. All right. So I've given stories on that. I still think that the countries in and of themselves are too unstable to go down this path. But the other side of it is they're amassing massive amounts of gold. All right, which is going to be a force to be reckoned with when it comes at looking at the reserve currency. All right, that's going to be huge. That's going to be huge. We're still the reserve currency globally, but the BRICS countries are trying to go after overtaking us as the reserve currency. Lou says the dollar's on the deathbed. I don't think in our time frame. I just don't think so. I just don't think so. I think we've got too much power behind our dollar. Is it diminishing? Yes. Is it going to be overtaken anytime soon? My answer to that is based on the videos that I've done already on the de-dollarization. Go check them out if you haven't already. I don't think it happens in our time frame. I just don't. Can you give guidance on holding through earnings with good VectorVest ratings? We'll talk about that in a second as well. All right, so let's go look at my list that I've compiled today from the big news stories. And at the top of the list, best stock, Tesla. I would keep my eye on ABOS. Anything dealing with things like high blood pressure, actually more so sugar and Alzheimer's, I think are stories that you need to keep your eyes on. Let's go take a look at ABOS. Nice move up today. Alzheimer's story. Put this on a 3-month graph. Big pop. Look at the pullback, though. This is going to be some profit taking, because if you went to bed Friday night, the stock closed at $6.28. It went up as high today as 11. It almost doubled in price overnight. It almost doubled in price on the news. So it wouldn't be weird that we had some profit taking, but I got a big wick at the bottom of the candle, which tells me that I've got some buying pressure going in. Would I be adverse to taking some of this? I would actually put it at the high, put it at 5 cents higher than the high. All right, I would put it at 5 cents higher than the high to make sure that I'm not getting caught up in the sell-off, and that the stock's news, if it's still viable, that I'm still buying into the rise on the stock. Big, love the volume on it. How about this? Prior to the pop, look at where the 3.8 crossed on 7-Eleven, coming off a level of support. The 3.8 cross, man, that was a good payoff. BBIO has a new heart drug that's a lifesaver. BBIO, I'll put that in there. Heart is another big topic. BBIO top, look at that, 83%. I didn't see the news on that. Let's go look at the stock news. Oh, man, that's huge. 82%. AT&T, Bridge Bio, blah, blah, blah. Heart treatment. Let's go. Oh, no, okay, that's good. Let's go take a look at it. RT is way up there. Pharmaceutical, probably not fundamentally sound. Where's the earnings growth? -7. Again, none of that surprises me. Let's go see if this stock's got some viability. Put this on a 3-month graph. Oh, no sell-off. No sell-off like the other one we just looked at. I like this one better. Big volume, open candle. I like this one better. Oh, you agree? Yes or no? I like when I can see a pop in a stock and no closed candle. That's an open candle. The news here, that's not a bad play. Yes or no? Yes or no? I like that play. I cannot lie. How about MDLB heart drug approval? I like this play. I like this play. Man, I like it a little bit better than ABOS, but I like them both. I like them both. One is for heart and one is for Alzheimer's, I want you to keep both of these stocks on your list. They are grossly overvalued. Fundamentally, neither one of them are sound. Both of them are moving up by way of news. But let's see which one has got. I know Daniel says never chase. You notice in that stock as well, I would put it, because it's over $20, I'd put in a buy stop 12 cents higher than the high. All right. So, again, Mark, other stocks, I'm going to give you an opportunity. I'm going to give you its FDA approvals always help a stock. Let's go see if it can stay. Bought Vista. It knife dropped, seeing it was an undervalued stock. I moved my stop down so it did not close. Came back half hold, looked good long term. We'll take a look at that, trader Matt. We'll take a look at that. That's one of the stocks we'll look at as well. All right, so here's the stocks that made the news. AI stocks, two of them, AI ETFs. Let's go take a look at them, view the stock graphs as well. Put these on a 3-month graph. I like that. Wow, look at bots. Bottom left, top right. I like the play. The space is hot. Even when it pulled back and found a nice level of support, bounced up, I'd like to see it take out the 3-month high. And wow, AI, I like that one better. That's hitting that's coming right off a 3-month high. Both of these have bottom left to top right plays. Excuse me. I like them both. I like them both. I definitely like both of those. AI is a hot spot. Instead of trying to hone in on one specific AI stock, I like the ETFs. Keep these on your radar, folks. Keep these on your radar. And thank you for, what was the other one you gave me? And there it is. Let's go look at it. Another ETF for the AI space. Put it on 3-month graph. I don't like this one as much. Not as much volume. Not as much volume. I like the other two. You see these? I'd rather have you in a stock or an ETF that's got volume. There's not a lot of volume in this. All right, so the other two I feel more comfortable in, and that's bots and AIQ. You guys understand that? Yes or no? Thank you for giving me the OAIE, but I like these two better from a volume perspective. All right, I like big bots. I cannot, oh Lord, oh gosh. Wow, I like big bots and I cannot lie. All right, so with that, these are my stocks. I think Ford is just trying to gather some sales. Keep your eyes on the Indian market. Here's an ETF for that, NFTY. TMC, the metals, bottom of the list, getting beaten up. BIIB and BBIO and ABOS, drug stocks, I want you to keep your eyes on as well. All right, with that, let's go look at the earnings this week. Holding through earnings. All right, so the first thing, I've got 30 stocks out of that list were the bigger names. All right, the first thing I'm going to do from a holding through an earnings perspective, I'm going to sort the list by CI. The stocks that go up more than they go down. All right, so who asked me the question about holding through earnings? All right, who asked me the question about holding through earnings? Just type a me in the room. Just type a me in the room. If I'm thinking, if I own any of these stocks, I like the stocks with CIs above 1. Ralph did. Thank you, Ralph. I like the stocks with CIs above 1. That tells me that these stocks are resilient to big pullbacks. Even if earnings don't hit, these stocks are they are able to go up more than they go down. So I like that. Second thing, let's sort by relative safety. The stocks that consistently make money. Holding through earnings, the stocks that have high relative safeties are stocks that I'd feel a little bit more comfortable with. All right. Any stock that's got an RV below 1, the upside's not there, I'd be careful with it, but I'd still pay attention to the RS. So it's companies like Netflix. It all depends on subscribership. Did they pick up more subscribers? Did they lose more? What's the content? There's a lot of things that could affect the earnings, but the company consistently makes money. They grow their earnings. Ooh, I'd rather be in a company that grows their earnings at a bigger clip. All right, let's go look at the earnings growth. Which companies grow their earnings more? I think that American Airlines, United Airlines, they're coming out this week. I think that they're going to be winners in the earnings space. Interactive Brokers, Tesla, I think, Halliburton, big names, chip company, ASML. The banks most likely will meet or exceed earnings. It all depends on what they do as far as their reporting. All right, how they report, we'll see. And actually, look at that. Associated Bank, Bank of Ozark, Home Bank. Wow, notice these relative safeties below 1. Upside potentials are there. Interesting. U.S. Bank Corp, Regions, First Bank Corp, Netflix, BlackRock, Ally, Capital One. I think that's the majority of the banks in here. Notice that a lot of these have relative safeties below 1. It all depends on how that reporting comes in. I'd still be careful with these banks. Let's go look at their earnings growth on these companies too. Regions 11, U.S. Bank Corp 12, Home Bank Corp 18. A couple of them are in the 20s. Anything higher than 22? No. M&T Bank has an earnings growth of 22% with a relative safety below 1. I'd be careful with anything that's got a relative safety below 1. Now, earnings growth still shows me it's got a capability. It all depends on how they report. All right. So, Ralph, did I help you a little bit? Let me know. Did I help you a little bit? I probably didn't give you everything you wanted because it's tough for me to do that because anything can happen with earnings. But did I help you a little bit by at least looking at the VectorVest indicators to help me? All right. Good morning. It's coming earnings from AAL. Yeah, I know. AAL is up here. I got that in there. All right. What else do I want to look at? Oh, we just did the special presentation this week on NPI. I picked out some NPI stocks 1 and 3 day. But what I did was I made sure that not only were the NPIs crossing in regards to the 5 and the 40, like we talked about on the strategy of the week this week, but they had positive earnings. So I took it a step further to help cherry pick. Here's my 1-day picks from the NPI and my 3-day picks from the NPI, looking at earnings growth. Look at these. Look at these double-digit earnings growth, and the NPI has crossed in the last 3 days. For anybody who's asking, what's the NPI? Go watch the video that we had out this week. All right? Go watch the video that we had out this week. Todd did a great job on cherry picking the NPI. Wow, I'm a little stuffy today. Sorry about that, folks. All right, look at this company. Bell Fuse made the list by way of the NPI. ASML made the list. CRM made the list. Arch Capital. I think really good companies that are giving some opportunities and are poised to start moving back up again. All right, keeping all that in mind. Drug stocks. Last week, let's see. You know, on Mondays, I try to give you my phase 3 drugs. Had some, let's go back 1 week. Let's go see what they did. Let's quick test all of them real quick. Ooh, down a little bit. Do we have some opportunities? Yep, Rain. Stock, man, that stock. Anybody took advantage of Rain? Rain has been on a move from a drug company. 14% in 1 week. ARQT up 11%. We had some stocks that went down double digits. All right, it is what it is, but were the opportunities there? The answer to that is yes. Here's my phase 3 drugs for this week that I want you to keep your eyes on. Let's stream it. Here they are. A couple of them. Wow, look at that. ARQT is up 14% today. Let's go take a look at the stock news. What is it? Cream has been included in a preferred position on national formula. I don't know what that means. Well, whatever it is, it's moving. It's moving up today. I know it had phase 3 data behind it. That's the biggest mover. These are my stocks that I want you to keep your eyes on. Hermes says, you saw CBay. This started very low, like at 5, now up. All right, so let's do this. Let's go put your stocks in. Where's my weekly customer picks? All right, now I want your stocks. All right, now I want your stocks. Type them in. Mamma mia, everybody loves a good meatball. I do. I like a good meatball. PLLCELH EVLV ATRC SOI, AVGO, First Solar, Upstart, Nova, BELFB, yep, comma, MDB, comma, TXRH, comma, U, comma, AAON, comma, MMMB. That's not, it really is? Oh, it really is. I thought you was messing with me, Jeff. Comma, CIFR, comma, TSLY. I think that's it. Sorry, folks. I'm a little congested today, and I apologize. 17 stocks. Top of the list, Bell Fuse, stock that's been rocking and rolling. STRL, honorable mention. STRL has been a stock that's been kicking butt and taking names. LTHM, I like that from a lithium play. But just about every stock you gave me, why do you guys always give me the good stocks? Why not? Well, no, because nobody wants to be the guy that I yell at for being at the bottom of the list for giving me a garbage stock. Excuse me. So, every stock's got a VST above 1 with the exception of ATRC. Vista, you wanted that, Matt, right? I will put Vista up there. Where does it sit? Let's go sit. Where does it sit? It's towards the top of the list, still with a VST at 1.4. This is a little bit of a rebound today. You mean like Xroth? Like Xroth. Let's go take a look at that. Earnings next week on Bell Fuse. Where's Xroth? Oh, it's at the bottom of the list. But it's got a VST below, and it's a hold recommendation. Not awfully bad. Way overvalued, though. Celsius, AVGO. AVGO bought VMware, right? Did I remember doing that story right? I think AVGO bought VMware. That's probably going to be big for them as they expand. Vista Energy, I still think that energy or oil's got more room to the upside. Another oil. Let's go look at oil. Texas Roadhouse. Love me some Texas Roadhouse. Oil. I'm going to take energy with oil. Let's go take a look at those. These are energy and oil. Energy and oil. Put these on a 3-month graph. Look at that move. SOI, new 3-month high. Trading at the session highs today. Very little wick at the top of the graph. Very little wick at the top of the graph. What else is in here? I don't like the volume, though. I really like the volume to rise up with the price. Just be careful with that. Vista Energy, big pullback. And you know something, Matt? Not only did you use the stop, look at that, but you know something, end of day, even with the pullback, look at the 3 and the 8 never crossed. I like the 3 and the 8 to keep you from being too anxious on a stock. A lot of sell-off today, though. I'd keep my eye on that. A lot of sell-off today. Open candle, but the 3 and the 8 never failed. The 3 and the 8 never failed. Let's go. What did you say, Mark? You mean like, oh, okay. Wow, Nova, new 3-month high today, rocking and rolling. The volume looks better than the other oil stock. At least for the most part, it's been at or above average volume. I like that play a little bit more. New 3-month high after coming out of a session of moving sideways. I like the move. All right, so those are my oil energy stocks. Let's go look at the stocks in general real quick. That's industry graph. I didn't want that. We're going to go through these real quick. As soon as it loads up. Load up. Bell Fuse. Can't say anything bad about it. Sell. I like it. AVGO right at 3-month high. I'd like to see you take it out. Wow. News driven. It's got to be. Was that earnings? Wasn't earnings. Big move. News driven. The 3 and the 8, though, prior to the news, crossed on 7/12. Look at that move. If you got in there, that was a nice move. This was an earnings play. That's why it fell, but I like the rebound, Matt. I do like the rebound, and the 3 and the 8 were pretty solid. SOI, we talked about. Cypher. Crypto stocks. Crypto's on the move. I think XRP is a lot of the move in crypto right now, winning a court decision. I'm still not a big fan of crypto, but I'm not going to tell you not to take advantage of it, especially if it's giving you the opportunity. MDB, wow, look at that. Love that. I would really, right Stop right at the 3-month high. I'd like to see better volume. Actually, the volume is okay with it moving sideways. A little bit of a channel. Let's take a look at that right here. A little bit of a channel. I'd like to see it take out the 3-month. If I'm not in it, if I'm currently in it, leave it alone. TRX, that's a little bit more of a volatile play. It is currently trading right off 3-month highs. Little wick at the top, a little selling pressure. 3 and 8 look good. Went above this level of resistance. Not a bad looking play. I'd like to see it take it out, but if you don't like volatility, you probably don't want to stay with this stock. First Solar, coming off a level of support. The 3-8 cross, big open candle. I liked it. RT went above 1. I'd keep my eye on this. I'd definitely keep my eyes on this. All right. AAON was an NPI play. Got you. Wow, Mamma Mia. Look at that. Bottom left, top right, right at the 3-month high. Even the pull off. Look at that. The 3 and 8 held. I like the play. I'd like to see. If I'm not in it, I'm looking at 5 cents higher than the 3-month high. Nice volume today as well. Unity Software. A big down day. Friday, little rebound today. I'd still like to see us, if you're not in it, I'd like to see us take out that 3-month high. If you are in it, the 3 and 8, even on the pullback, kept you in it. And wow, EVLV. I do like that play. This wasn't an earnings play, but man, nice open candle on good volume, probably news driven, right at the 3-month high. I'd look at 5 cents higher than the 3-month high. If you're in it though, leave it alone. A little bit more volatile here as well. PLL, lithium play, moving on up to the east side and broke through a level of resistance, got another level of resistance to get through. After it gets above that, it's got a price target of about the 3-month high. All right. So there's your stocks. All right. We covered a lot today, yeah? I think we did. We covered a lot today. Look at the value of PLL. PLL has got a value of 114. It's undervalued. It's definitely undervalued. It's got a good upside potential at 1.69. Relative safety below 1 though. It's a volatile play though. ACLS has hit a new high. There you go. All right. Remember, this is why I ask you guys to hold off on your stocks until the end. All right. So that we can get to look at all of them. All right. If you haven't already, hit the like button. If you haven't already, even after this is up, share this. Share this with the people that you know in your social circles. Let's get people to view what we have to offer. The value that we have to offer the people who don't know who we are. Upstart. Was that one of the stocks that was in my list? Charbel. I already looked at the stocks I'm going to look at today. Sigh. This is why, oops, did I add? I added it. It's at 51 with a value of 658. I'm not showing it to you. I'm just looking at it. I'm looking at it. Fundamentally not sound. It's got an RT nicely. It's in an uptrend. It's got negative earnings and negative earnings growth rate. It's up 14% today. Joey, put me on the other screen. Let me go look at this graph. All right, let me go look at this graph. Go ahead. I see the move in it. Do I like it? Bottom left, top right's moving. It's moving. The volume is there. Maybe overvalued, fundamentally not sound, but it's moving. And if I'm in it, the 3 and the 8 are pulling away. I'd play it if it falls below the 3, not waiting for the 3 and the 8 to cross. Bottom left, top right, you can't deny it. It is what it is. It is what it is. Fundamentally not sound, but it is in an uptrend. They've got negative earnings and negative earnings growth rate, but something's moving the stock's price higher. Take advantage of it, but just know that it's not fundamentally sound. All right, there you go. That's my honest assessment of the stock. All right, so I never want to scare you away from the stock. I always want to let you know whether or not to be prepared for something bad to happen to the stock. All right. Good luck with your puppy. Yeah, I'll see him when I get home. My wife didn't text me and let me know anything about him, so hopefully everything went all right. There we go. That's my wife. Nothing about the puppy though. All right. How many likes did we get, Joey? Were we sitting at 79? You know, I like to always try to get about 100 likes before we leave. If we can. If it was worth it for you to stop by and say hello and learn some stuff, hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. All right. The vet says to get your puppy some Bud Light and bring it shopping the Target. Hold on. Can I play this?
No, God, please, no, no,
All right.
no.
There we go. I played that. All right, folks. You guys have a great day. Thank you for supporting us like you always do. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii and in the Bahamas. That's for you, Mark. Bom dia. Salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until next time, folks. See ya.